Welcome back, Snack Pack, to another subscriber sort of milestone video. In this one, well, actually, in the last one that I did at 200 subscribers, I actually showed how I record my videos, which is through the debut through NCH. Um, and since we have surpassed 300 subscribers, I think we're at 313 right now. Trying to get that a little bit higher, but I try to do this closer to the 300 mark, but um, some work and everything else kind of got in the way. But I did kind of want to show how I go through the editing process and everything else. Now, what I use is also through NCH, which is VideoPad. Very, very simple. You basically load in all your video files, and most of them come through from the through debut. So whenever you record anything through debut, it'll come through here. And like for instance, I will pull this one. It will load in everything. It will go ahead and load the entire video from there. I'll go ahead and delete all of this part, which is very simple. I've got my outro right here along with the song that usually plays at the end. So I mean, and it'll play just fine. No big deal there. But this will actually load this in, and you can do place at start, or if you have your cursor at a certain point, you can just drop that video right in on top of that, or right on the same track that you're on. Now you can expand and have multiple tracks. You can have multiple audio tracks. Like I've got a little bit down here where it faded into this. You can lock them. You can change a lot of things. You can change where this, like if I wanted to just play this through like a right side speaker, if that's all that I had for whatever reason, you could do that or whatnot. Um, but you can also overlay it or place it at the end, which will place it at the end of the last clip that is actually on the sequence. Now I don't really want to do that, and it actually did stop loading here, but it will continue once I put it in, I do believe. Um, Now from here, like you can, if you notice, like some of mine, I will have this little bit, and you can kind of move your cursor like this, or you can have it play through to whatever point. But once you stop it, you'll notice this little thing right here, which you can split all the tracks. So if I had multiple audio tracks set up through here, everything whenever I record it gets all put into one whole section. So I mean, like I can unlink this audio and kind of move it around to wherever I want to, but I don't really want to do that. Let me go ahead and go back. That way it's still linked in there. But this whole section right here, I can actually just right click and delete, and then you can kind of scoot that over to the very beginning. And you can kind of go through here, and all you have to do is like if I wanted to say I wanted to split that. Now it also has like different effects that you can do. You can add in all these kind of transitions or color changes or zoom, wrap it around, change the filter on everything. You can actually do different templates and stuff, but I usually don't. I usually kind of do custom things each time, depending upon my mood usually. Now I do like to do either the fade or the crossfade, which is a little bit easier. So I can do crossfade, and it asks you if you want to move or freeze it. I will usually just freeze where it's at. Now this one, I will actually back it up a little bit so it's more noticeable. But basically what the crossfade does, and I'll let you see what it does here in
Got
just a second,
mail.
and you'll be able to
We
hear
don't have
my
any
voice, of course.
comments, but we have mail.
But
Blah blah
it will
blah.
actually fade
Okay.
through, and sometimes if it's not through loading,
Thank you.
but it'll basically just fade from what's over here at that current time to whatever's over on this side, and it just kind of does a smoother transition. Now, if you do just fade by itself, it'll just go completely black for that little second, and then it'll pop up on the other side at whatever's on this side. It's fairly simple. I mean, it's a fairly decent free program to use. I do see it kind of loading in there, so it'll take a minute. But I mean, like you can move all these tracks around and move everything to wherever. Like I can drag this up here, and it puts another video track. I could pull this to way down here, adds another audio track, and you can layer these. You can add in text, and it'll just kind of It'll ask you what you want to say, so be like, hey, and you can change what size you want it, if you want an outline, how big you want the outline to be. I don't know if you can really notice it from there, but you can change practically everything. Actually, I need to select this before I can change it. Okay, so yeah, like if you like the text and everything, and you can actually move it around, and then once you figure out where you want it, it will actually go in here. You can set a fade to where it'll fade in to
Blah.
the
Okay.
video, so
Thank
kind of
you.
like that. And then you can do different little fades out or shapes or reveal it differently. You can do a puzzle, which it won't really be that noticeable on
No
this.
comments there, so we will
Let's see. Yeah,
record.
so
Can
I
we
mean,
do
it takes
another one?
away bits and pieces, but it's like I said, it's very, very simple, and you can kind of move everything around to exactly where you want it. You can do add fade ins, add fade outs. You can do everything. You can actually remove all of it. You can mute the audio. You can put some effects on here. I'm not really familiar with any of the audio effects. I'm not really into that kind of thing. Most of the stuff that I actually use is more of the transitional effects and everything else. Um, but I mean, like you can record like this. I've actually got this out to like 20 something minutes. Um, this is the only part that I don't per se like about it is if you want to move something a long way over, I don't think, and actually you can switch it to storyboard, but storyboard I don't think connects with the audio. So like this little bitty piece that I'm trying to move over here won't get picked up by that storyboard, which is kind of a letdown, but overall I actually do really, really like this software, especially since it's free. Um, so I mean, if you do want to check it out, I can link it in the description below, and you can kind of look at what you want on the website itself. There's quite a few different things. They've got VideoPad, they've got WavePad. So like, if I wanted to, I know that there is a way, maybe not that. Um, there is a way to actually go in and do different tracks, or not do different tracks, but do like editing to each track. Um, and you can do that by a couple of different things. You can actually also completely space this. You can change the clip speed of the audio or of the video part. Now, the video part I have done quite a bit before, especially in American Truck Simulator, just going through the drives and everything. It does take a while, so either editing that out completely just by doing a simple split of the video and deleting that whole section, you can do that and then kind of scoot everything back together, fade it between each one. Or if you want to do a little cut there, and all you do is change clip speed. Right now it's at 100. You could change it to 500. It speeds it up quite a bit, and then it also shrinks the video down to that time. So I don't know if you'll actually let me unlink that. That way the audio is not all messed up. Um, but let's see. So it should just be
If it's
playing normal, and then okay. So
passed on.
that wasn't a really good spot to show anything. Oh, that was a tiny spot. That's why. So like if I picked a bigger spot, more so like this, I could actually delete that audio, change the clip speed, and I'm actually going to change it. I think the highest you can go is 800. You might be able to push it a little bit higher. But let's see if you can actually notice this. Once it loads, sometimes you can play through it while it's loading, um, but once it gets to the point where it's loaded, it kind of has to load up and takes a minute. But let's go ahead
Thanks.
and
Let's
play
go.
through
This sounds
this,
like
and
a
it
freaking
might be a little bit better. See, like you can kind of see how everything is sped up a lot more than just going through the regular playthrough, um, just at regular speed,
then
and
your
then it goes
page
back down to
achievement
regular speed there.
what
So it's a very fun, kind of interesting software to use. I know that there's quite a few different things. I mean, you can go for the Sony Vegas and do all that, which I would love to eventually get to. I really, really like this software, um, and it's free from the website. Now, the only thing I can say is the uh, it's basically like a repeating trial. So, like, what I usually have to do is after recording a certain amount of things, um, I will go in and whenever I pull this up, it'll pop up a box that says, hey, thank you for using the demo version. So I will go out here. You can see my wicked awesome background. I will actually go out here and then go to the apps. And basically, what you have to do, let me search it here. You basically uninstall it, and yes, uninstall, and then you say yes, and then there is a question or an answer, kind of a question too. There's a little drop down box that actually asks you, do you want to, or what's the reason for you wanting to get rid of the software. Um, and it's fairly simple. All you have to do is say that the trial period had expired, whatnot, and then completely uninstall it. Now, the best way to reinstall this is to have my video recorder, which is Debut, and all you have to do is go into your recordings. You can pick one, hit this little edit button, which will allow you to edit it using VideoPad, and it will ask you if you want to reinstall VideoPad, which is the same thing you just basically uninstalled, but it resets your trial. So it just makes it easier, and it's completely free all the time, even though that repeating uninstalling, installing, uninstalling, installing kind of thing gets a little old. But if you go in and actually buy the software, you can buy it. I think VideoPad may be $49.95, possibly it might be a little bit more than that. Um, and then the debut, I think, is a little bit cheaper and might be a little bit more expensive. Um, I don't actually know. I wonder if this will actually take me to where I need to go. Yeah. So basically, you can get the video. Okay, so it is quite well. That's Master's Edition, which unlocks all audio tracks, plugins, everything. The fully featured Home Edition is $39.95, and then you get debut for $17.50. So I mean, and that's Pro Edition. Nothing too crazy there. But I mean, it's a fairly cheap software if you want to buy it compared to stuff like Sony Vegas. Um, but yeah, I just figured I would show you guys what I do for my 300 sub video, kind of special thing. Um, it I am super thrilled that we've actually made it to over 300. It took me a little while to get from like 270 to 300. So going from there and going even further than that is absolutely awesome. So I am super thrilled um, for everybody to stick around, see what's coming up next. Um, I'm still playing Elite Dangerous. I will definitely keep the walkthrough Wednesday of the Pokemon Ruby going until I'm actually gonna try to beat that game. I don't remember if I've actually ever beaten the game. Um, I think I've tried and almost beat the game. I think the Elite Four kind of destroyed me though. But I will try to go through that as best as possible, all the way to the end. That way I don't. I've cut a few of my series is a lot shorter than I wanted to, but I want to keep that one a little bit more interesting. And that one seems to get the biggest response from some of my Twitter followers, especially. One of the guys that keeps commenting on it is Far No, and he is awesome. He keeps commenting on it, and that's like his thing, even though he's in a different part of the world that I am. So whenever my video goes up on Wednesday, it's actually Thursday where he's at. So it kind of throws everything off a little bit, but he loves watching it, and it makes me feel amazing. Just that people will want to watch it over and over and over again. Um, and I will also continue with Software Inc. I'm trying that again. The next video should go up on Sunday. Um, now this Sunday and next Sunday. should be continuing the Software Inc. series. Um, I think I do end up having a little glitch in, or not per se glitch. I had a glitch in the last one. In not this Sundays, but next Sundays, I do believe I have a little issue, but it turns out pretty interesting. So I hope you guys do stay tuned for that. And Elite Dangerous is turning out really, really well. A lot of support for that. It's an awesome space game. I love playing anything that deals with space. So continue to support on that, guys. It helps me out a lot. It helps out the channel. And if you want to see anything else like this, what was this? Um, Tube Tycoon that I've got running kind of in the background here. If you want to see some more of that, which there was a lot of response to that, which I was actually kind of shocked at the amount of people that actually wanted to watch that. Even though it's an older game, it is free. I've also got a couple of other free games. I've got Raft. I've got the PC building simulator, which I thought about doing a video on. If you want to see that, don't just comment down below. I want to see if it'll even get any response. Um, but I think I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of instructional video on how I record my videos, and I will be putting it up um, here shortly, which today is Thursday, so I may actually put it up tomorrow, which will be Friday the 14th. Is that right? I do believe. Yeah. So Friday the 14th, I will actually have this video up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If so, don't forget to leave a like, and I will catch you guys in the next one.